penalty was not called in this situation, so let's look. Some factors to look at. Does he step on the foot? Yes. Is it inside the penalty area? Yes. Is it a foul? Okay, let's look. I think that in a situation like this, the arguments for not calling a penalty would be, for example, if the attacker goes into the path of the defender or comes from a blind spot, or if he's looking for a penalty. But in my opinion, the attacker is already there in position. The defender must be aware of this. The fact that it doesn't look at him when a contact is made shouldn't matter for this situation. I think this situation deserved a VAR review, and I would expect a penalty after review. I would be okay with no sanction because I don't think this is a reckless challenge or one that uses excessive force. He shows lack of attention of the attacker's position, so no sanction would be okay. Here's a very talked about situation where the attacking team wanted a penalty, but instead got a free kick against them. So let's look. First of all, did the attacker commit any offense? No. We can clearly see that the defender elbows the attacker, and then the defender pretends to have been injured and fouled, so he completely deceives the referee. This is clear simulation. Now, for this particular situation, VAR can only intervene for two reasons. One, if it's a red card offense, and two, if it's inside the penalty area. This is not a red card offense, so we look at if this is inside the penalty area. And based on the camera angles, it's not easy. At this level, there must be camera angles in line with the penalty area so we can see clearly. Maybe VAR had access to this, but viewers must also see this in that case. And of course, we must look at the actual contact. It's the actual contact on the head that matters. However, we shouldn't only look at the elbow, because the ball did actually hit his hand. If we look at the hand, it seems to be in line with the foot, and his foot is actually on the line. The hand is above his shoulder, and this should be seen as making his body unnaturally bigger. So if this is seen as a handball offense, there is a much stronger case for it to be inside the penalty area. This is not a situation for an on-field review because this is a factual decision, so it's only for VAR and not for the referee to watch. So the only reason for no VAR intervention in this case can only be because VAR couldn't confirm that this was inside the penalty area. Here's a situation where penalty was not called and it has created some controversy. So let's look. The attacker is clearly in possession of the ball and is just about to dribble past the defender, who then sticks out the leg. And this is what causes the foul. Some things to look at here. Is the attacker trying to create a foul by sticking out his own leg to make contact? No, I don't think so. This is a normal foot movement and he's in possession of the ball and is running in a natural way. Does the defender take a risk by sticking out the leg? Yes. And does it trip the opponent? I think so. It's a completely avoidable situation for the defender, and he deliberately sticks out the leg and trips the opponent. I think this situation deserved a VAR review. Here's a very talked about situation where a penalty was not called. So let's look. First of all, does the goalkeeper directly hit the attacker in the face? No. If you look closely, you can see that the goalkeeper gets the ball first. It then bounces off the head of the attacker, and it's after that there is contact between the hands and the head. To me, this is a part of the natural follow-through. It is normal football contact and unavoidable. Had the goalkeeper missed the ball, this would be an obvious penalty. But since he got the ball in a fair manner, I don't think this should be a penalty. And here's something else to look at. When the ball is played by the teammate, the attacker might be in an offside position. It isn't confirmed, but based on this angle, this could be an offside position. If he was offside, VAR cannot intervene. So this could never be a penalty if he was actually offside. You might be thinking that the defender played the ball, but this play is never a deliberate play, so it would not cancel a possible offside. But regardless, I don't think this should be a penalty either way. In this situation, no free kick was given and no card, so let's look. Situations in the air aren't always easy, but this situation is isolated and it's two players. If you argue for a red card, I don't see any deliberate strike to the face. He doesn't use the arm as a weapon. This is using the arm as a tool. He's also looking at the ball, but he takes a risk by raising the arm. So this is a reckless use of the arm. A free kick and a yellow card is expected.